If you're not subscribed, I know I'm banging this drum a lot today. Please subscribe. I'm fewer than 50,000 subscribers away from a million subscribers. Bananas. Seriously, I'm so lucky. I am not worthy of this platform. You have saw fit to subscribe and be interested in the way I talk about the news and my trying to motivate people to do the right thing and to get involved in politics. And I am beyond humbled. I thank you very much. Anyway, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. On February 6th, let's talk about this. On February 6th, I did a video. The title of which, if you want to go look for it, is Racist Trump Threatening Criminal Charges for Companies That Hire Black People. And in the thumbnail, because it's YouTube and you got to give a little bit of a mild clickbait, even though I stand by both the thumbnail and the title in this case, Trump bringing back segregation. And here's the description of the video. Jesse talks about Trump's dispatching of his Attorney General, Pat Bondi, to threaten criminal prosecutions of private companies who have DEIA policies to enable the hiring of Black, LGBTQ, etc. employees. So Donald Trump is threatening criminal action against private companies who have hiring policies that are their business, right? A lot of people push back. Oh, that's total clickbait. They're not bringing back segregation. They're not trying to not hire Black people. This is just your liberal fever dream. There was all kinds of hateful, idiot comments of people who aren't clearly watching the landscape of what's taking place in the country or are partisan hacks who are trying to cover for Donald Trump and their racism. Enter military.com. This isn't the New Republic. This isn't the Intercept. This isn't Mother Jones. This isn't a left-leaning journalistic outlet. Excuse me. This is military.com, an outlet that covers stories and has an understanding of what goes on in the military, has access to people. And there's a quote in here. In fact, I'll just read this quote. It's fucking racist, one active duty Army general told military.com on the condition of anonymity to avoid retaliation. To avoid retaliation, this active duty general had to remain anonymous. Here's the headline. Military drops recruiting efforts at prestigious Black Engineering Awards event. Now, let's take a step back before I read from this. The narrative by Republicans, the narrative by Donald Trump and other racists, yes, including him, others who are racist, is that DEI just wants to hire any Black body, whoever, get them in there. They're Black. That's good enough. They act as though qualification has nothing to do with it. That it's just the color of your skin. And that actual qualified white people get boxed out of jobs so that an unqualified Black person or gay person or trans person or woman or name your hated group by Republicans so they can get the job. That's what they would have you believe, right? So why, in this case, would they pull out of a prestigious Black engineering event that I think they said was like ripe with talent? It's the most dense talent venue or something like that is how they describe it. You're turning down the possibility of hiring wildly talented, wildly intelligent, wildly skilled candidates for jobs within the military only because they're Black. It's the reverse of what they claim because they're liars. They're racist, white supremacists. They've allowed the white Christian nationalist agenda to take hold, and now they have Pete Hegseth, a white supremacist, as the Secretary of Defense to put this into action. And as I talked about in a previous video, the makeup of the military is just about 50-50 white and then minority groups, Latino, Asian, Black, roughly 50-50. I think it was 49.6% Black and Latino, Black and brown folks, right? Here's the article. The Army and other service branches are abandoning recruiting efforts at a prestigious Black engineering event this week, turning down access to a key pool of highly qualified potential applicants amid President Donald Trump's purge of diversity initiatives in the military. Until this week, Army Recruiting Command had a long-standing public partnership with the Black Engineer of the Year Awards, or BEYA, an annual conference that draws students, academics, and professionals in science, technology, engineering, and math, also known as STEM. The event, which takes place in Baltimore, oh no, that's a historically very black city. I see why they wouldn't want to go. Very scary for white Republicans. Oh. Yeah. The event, which takes place in Baltimore, has historically been a key venue for the Pentagon to recruit talent, including awarding reserve officers training corps scholarships and pitching military service to rising engineers. Past BEYA events have included the Army Chief of Staff and the Defense Secretary. Quote, "This is one of the most talent-dense events we do," one Army recruiter told military.com, on the condition that their name not be used. "Our footprint there has always been significant. We need that talent," says a subject matter expert, a military recruiter. We need that talent, whether they be black or white. These are talented, qualified, skilled individuals. The services cited concerns that participation in the predominantly black event could run afoul of Trump's order and the Pentagon's intensifying push to erase diversity efforts in the military, according to multiple sources familiar with the decision. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth on January 31 ordered that Black History Month, Women's History Month, and others were officially dead, quote unquote, and that the military would no longer mark them. Quote, "In compliance with the Department of Defense and Headquarters Department of the Army guidance, U.S. Army Recruiting Command will not participate in the upcoming BEYA event," Madison Bonzo, a service spokesperson, said in a statement to military.com. Quote, "Service members and civilians are permitted to attend this event in an unofficial, personal capacity if they choose to do so." The Navy, Air Force, and Space Force also pulling out of the event. And then down here, additional recruiting events tied to specific racial or gender groups are also likely to be scrapped, two defense officials told military.com. That includes other conferences and career fairs with thousands of participants. Thousands of qualified, highly skilled participants. So what's the reason? They're black. Are they qualified? Yes. Are they highly skilled? Yes. Are they sought after? Yes. Would they benefit the military? Yes. But because they're black, this is where the rubber hits the road, folks. Are they skilled? Yes. But are they black? Yes. Disqualified. We're not even going to look at them. We're not going to seek them. We're not going to try to recruit them because they're black, in spite of the fact that they're qualified, in spite of the fact that they have a specialization, a skill set that is wildly needed by our government. But because they're black, they're not being hired. And we're going to finish with that quote I read earlier. "It's fucking racist," one active duty Army general told military.com, on the condition of anonymity to avoid retaliation. "For the Army now, it's blacks need not apply, and it breaks my heart." That's not coming from me. That's not coming from me, critics who said, "Oh, Donald Trump's not in for the segregation." You're just lying. You're a libtard. Hurt me there. A U.S. Army general, someone who he hadn't been there, they hadn't been there, whatever they are, woman or man, hadn't been there for 15 minutes. They've likely been there for 30 years. They are also a subject matter expert. YouTube troll. You are not. You are an armchair moron who supports a fascist. You're just lying, libtard. There. Fantastic. I stand by my earlier video from February 6th, and I'm adding to the pile of evidence here.
Giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahahakakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone, who rule well and teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Ayashar Barzal from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, before I get into it, I just want to declare fair use. fair use, audibly, as it was declared at the beginning of this video. All right, and that is fair use according to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. All right, well, you just saw those videos. You see, Trump wants to stop recruiting of so-called blacks in the military. All right, and as you heard that guy say, um, pretty much 49.6 or 0.8% of the military is made up of the Southern and Northern Kingdom, and you want to stop military recruitment. All right. Well, all I will say, and this is just me as a man speaking, if you were part of that process or wanted to be a part of that process, and you are of the nation of Israel, um, again, this is me. This is me speaking as a man. If you have heard the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and you know you're an Israelite, according to the teachings of a GMS and those who teach the like doctrine, this is an opportunity for you to repent because, we know the history of how well Jake has performed in the military, but not this time. Great destruction is coming to this place. All right. And this may be a move to get you out of the way so you have the opportunity to repent. Like, again, that's just me speaking as a man, because why else would this happen? You know, especially when they were talking about the military draft, you know, let them go and fight. All right. It has always been their war and not ours. You know how Jake has been treated, you know, when they fight in those wars, go to jail, get beat up. Not too long ago, I think it was Jake from the tribe of Simeon. Got pulled over, mace sprayed in his car, and the cop pretty much told him, "I don't give a fuck about you being a part of the military. You do what I say. This is my." He told him, "This is my country, my country." All right. So, um, just want to put that out there. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 25, and it reads, "Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war." And, this is talking about Jake Man, all right? But as we can see, the recruitment is going to stop. So that doesn't prohibit the ones that are already in the military. But the thing is, that's just their judgment according to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But remember, the number one target for the Lord is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right, all right, it's him. That's the number one target, the wicked, who is reserved for the day of destruction. All right, he is, and you gotta. We just did a video a couple weeks ago. The CIA already said we have no defense against those UAPs, which we know to be the chariots of Israel, Yahweh Shai, and the host of angels. Okay, we just did it 2 weeks ago. They said they have no defense against those, but it doesn't matter. He's gonna make them fight anyway. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 13. First says Slakia. Second Esdras, chapter 13, beginning at verse 1. And it reads, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven." And that man that waxed strong is Yahweh Shai. All right. He gives that account several times of him waxing strong. Okay. As he was getting ready to grow into his ministry in the book of Luke. And I do believe it was in Matthew as well, too. He waxed strong. So that's talking about Yahweh Shai and the thousands of heaven. That's talking about the angels. Okay. On those chariots. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen unto him. Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing like you never seen before. All right. He said that, not only is it going to be a terrible time, according to Daniel 12, 1 and 2, but, what you're going to see in that day. All right. It says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Yep. He says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of a number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. That's all the military, you know, EU and NATO, all those countries coming to fight Yahushua. Remember 1984, Reagan said, when we have a common enemy that we don't know of, we're going to have to come together and fight. All right. This is what Reagan was talking about. All right. He says, verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. That's that fathership, that chariot that they, I know it was back in like February of 2020. That feed they cut, they showed this huge, and it was literally a wheel within a wheel, according to Ezekiel 1, that was coming towards Earth, and they cut the feed. I think it was a Dabu 7 who posted that. Yeah. It says, verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. It was just that big. All right. And when you look at that video, if they haven't taken it down, that old video of Dabu 7, the earth was completely dwarfed by the fathership, Yahushua's chariot. All right. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. So Yahweh shall put that spirit on them, to fight. Let me get that word, durst. D-U-R-S-T. Archaic and dialectical past tense of dare. Okay. It says it's a verb. Definition, entry 1 of 2, to be sufficiently courageous to. So yeah, he gonna make them fight, give them that courage to fight, just to destroy them. All right. To have sufficient courage. Transitive verb, to challenge, to perform an action, especially as a proof of courage. So yeah, they gonna come against Yahushua and the host of heavenly angels. All right. But remember what Elijah said, let me get that in 2 Kings 6 and 16. I believe it is. 2 Kings 6 and 16. He said, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. All right. So yeah. Gonna be very, very interesting. All right. Back to 2nd Ezra 13. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held his sword, nor any instrument of war. But I only saw he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue out sparks and tempests. That's those concentrated laser beams, blowing stuff up, turn them into dust. Okay. Verse 11. and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and a great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one, so that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So them not recruiting Jake, again, that's just me as a man speaking. That's possibly an opportunity, you know, um, for you to turn back, to repent, because we know, it's going to be people coming in at that 11th hour. Okay. You got to remember the robber who was crucified next to Yahushua, you know, the Lord told him, this day you will be with me in paradise. So yeah, that may be your last chance. All right. What's that? Psalms, is it 68 and 17? I believe. God says, the chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. So yeah, it's going to be that fellowship and a whole bunch of armies, a host of angels. But like I said, in 1 hour, this place is going to come to naught, and we sick of your shit, Esau, straight up, but we just have to be patient, wait upon the Lord, because vengeance is his. But it is, this is where you learn resolve, and faith, believing in the Lord, and knowing that, what he said is going to come true. His word will not return to him void. All right. But yeah, you're going to get fucked up in that day. Straight up. All right. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 1. Again, says, woe, meaning destruction, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia, woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Okay. It says, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. World War III is inevitable. It is inevitable. All right. Verse 3, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? And that number one plague is those ICBM missiles, which will be under the control of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. According to Joel chapter 2. All right. They will not break their ranks. They will not miss. All right. It's going to, blow you up, turn you into dust, just like it says. It says, may any man drive away a hungry lion in the woods? Nope. Or may one quench a fire in the stubble when it begin to burn? Nope. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? Nope. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Nobody. Because like he said, when his word goes out, it returns not to him void. It's going to accomplish whatever he so pleases. All right. It says, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Nobody. He shall cast lightnings, and who shall fear? Who shall not fear? Who shall not fear? Like I said, it's going to be a day like never before since there was a nation. All right. He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? It says, the Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence. So yeah, everything is in his control, Esau, and again, for those of you that wanted to, be a part of that military, go stroll through the history. It has never worked out for you. I watched a video where, Jakes that went over to Vietnam, and the guy was saying how terrible it was in there. He said, how we go over here and they already know to call us nigger over here, can't speak no other language, can't even speak English, but they know to call us nigger. Who taught them that? All right. All Esau does is use you, you know. He wants to wipe, and this is the thing. He's literally trying to, first, on paper, wipe you out of history, and then literally wipe you out. That is his goal. That goes all the way back to Esau, according to what he said in his heart in Genesis 27 and 41. You know, all right. He's waiting. Even though that Isaiah 3 and 25 was talking about Jake, Esau Edom is the number one target. All right. Let's get this in Job. Book of Job, chapter 21, and starting at verse 27. It says, Behold, I know your thoughts and devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, Where is the house of the prince? And where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Verse 29. Have ye not asked them that go by the way? And do ye not know their tokens? Verse 30, here's the point. That the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. All right. And that day of wrath is, I was just talking about, 2nd Ezra 13 and 2nd Ezra 16. All right. When the Lord comes back with that host of angels to lay this place to waste and save the elect. All right. Who are your 144,000 rulers and judges and the innumerable multitude, even those that have, perished in Yahushua HaMashiach first. All right. According to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 15 through 18. All right. So yeah, he says the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction, that they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. And yeah, how we know that? This is Proverbs 16 and 4. And it reads, The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked, who is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, according to Malachi 1 and 4, for the day of evil. All right. Read it again. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Okay. And it goes on, verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Though joined hand in hand, he shall not be unpunished. So you Jakes, think you trying to save this place and fighting their military, you're going to get taken out. Turn to powder, beaten to dust, just like the scriptures say. All right. And we are looking forward to that day. There's elect, especially the prophets out here, having that faith, doing this work, doing their very best to keep the law, statutes, commandments. Those of us who have departed from this place, by turning back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not physically. We have departed from this place, as it tells us to do in Micah 2 and 10. All right. And when that day comes, if I'm one of those men, and the men that I'm currently serving with, here locally and abroad, that's going to be a very, very happy day, a wonderful day, looking towards that crown, even if I go before it, and I continually pray that the Lord don't take his candlestick from me, don't take it. Because, it was my time to come in. I was a lot older, but hey, I'm here now, and this is it. Ain't no going back to no damn Christianity, It was all a joke. All right. And anybody who's still believing that shit, and can't get right, hey, you may be in that, on that list for being turned to dust and to powder as well. All right. But those of us who are doing this work, we're looking forward to that day. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 91, beginning at verse 5. And it reads, Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. Those are nuclear missiles. All right. Nor for the pestilence that walk in the darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. It says, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Talking about his elect. Okay. He says, verse 8, only with thine eyes thou shalt behold and see the reward of the wicked. That's because we're going to be on those chariots. All right. That's the Lord told us. What was that? Isaiah 26. I'll come back to Psalms. Isaiah 26 and 20. It says, come, my people, enter into thy chambers and shut thy doors about thee. That's on the chariots, okay? Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. Indignation, that's that righteous anger that the Lord has against Esau, Edom, for further affliction of his people. All right. Verse 21. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth shall also disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. You're going to see none but dead bodies all over the place. All right? All over the place when the Lord comes back. All right? Back to that Psalms 91. All right, verse 9. It says, because thou hast made Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Verse 11, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. All right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakakodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well in teaching me this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom. All right. Oh, also, I did find an article on that, on those videos. I'll put a copy of it in a description box so you can read it at your leisure. All right. So again, with that, Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Abad Babal. Shalom.